All right, so in chapter 1073, we saw one of the Gorosei leaving Marijois, and this time it was the dreadlock guy, I guess you could say,
Yes.
Saint J. Garcia Saturn. And
Oh
that's
man,
just, yeah, that reveal led to so much discussion about
so much.
multiple things. I mean, we got the Saturn reveal, which goes into so many things about solar system, Roman gods. Just that is like another video in itself. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about if the Gorosei are physically strong or not. Obviously,
Oh,
they have.
this always brings a smile to my face, man. I love this conversation.
Exactly. Like before chapter 1073, I didn't really think too much about it because there wasn't really anything to think about. I mean, they're old dudes, which in One Piece,
Yeah,
granted, sometimes old guys are the strongest beings in existence, but it doesn't
yeah.
really seem like that's the case with them, especially this guy, Saturn, who has like a cane. Um,
He's barely walking.
yeah.
He's always
So,
sitting down.
yeah, we never really, or at least I didn't really think too much of it. But again, I wouldn't be surprised that because that also is another trope in anime. Old guys seem all decrepit, but then they just flip a switch, and then they're Master Roshi or Lao
Yeah.
Ji, which
Lao G.
yeah, exactly. So Saturn, I don't know if he's strong, but I mean, I think we more or less agree on why he's going to Egghead. It's not to like beat Luffy up or whatever. It's to recover the Seraphims, right?
Yeah, it's like the perfect way to recover them, right? Because nobody can overwrite the Gorosei at this point.
Exactly. So that's definitely why he's going there. But Oda definitely knows what he's doing here. He's moving such a massive piece across the board, like a dusty piece that he's never moved before. So he's got to know that people are thinking like, okay, so this piece is vulnerable now, even though he has Kizaru with him. And it's like, is he strong? And I'll give my take on this. So I'll say
Yeah,
right now that I don't think the Gorosei are physically strong.
and that's fair. I think that's a very fair assumption to make, to be honest. I mean, it's been over 20 years since we have been first introduced to them, and they're finally just now making a move. They finally just left Pangaea Castle. So if people want to say that the Gorosei aren't physically strong, I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll say all of them but one. I think one of them is probably strong, and I'll talk about him at the end because
Yeah,
there's a lot to go into. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
But I think aside from the ones who aren't strong, I do think they probably have contingencies, like some kind of special gadgets or something. Like I was talking to my one friend in the DMs about this, but I thought it would be cool if they had like I don't know some kind of like sea stone spray or something. Like I don't know if you've seen Mob Psycho, but in the first season they have like this spray that can like take espers down, and I thought it'd be cool like in One Piece if they had something like that too. Um,
I mean, that would be really broken, right? We saw how broken Sea Stone Lipstick was this chapter. Like,
exactly.
that took down Lucci pretty much.
So pulverized sea stone, which may be possible, maybe not. We haven't seen it yet, but they can shape it and craft it. So
Yeah.
like powderized sea stone into a spray. If you sprayed that on like a fruit user and they inhaled it, they could potentially even die from that.
Not even just that, but back in One Piece Film Z, Zephyr actually uses a Sea Stone bullet on Luffy, and after he shoots him, Luffy not only is in pain, but he just can't use his Devil Fruit. So if anybody were to have customized Sea Stone, I feel like it would be the Gorosei.
Ah, you know what? Yeah. That okay, sea stone dust maybe not as realistic as them just having a pistol that has a sea stone bullet. So they probably
Yeah.
have that.
Sea
I,
Stone machine gun.
I was waiting for the Sea Stone bullet reveal in the manga canon to be with the red hair pirates, but I could see the Gorosei probably have like gold pistols or something.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, that's why the admirals are scared of them. They're like, "Oh no, please don't
yeah,
shoot me.
exactly. Like the Buster
I'm a
Call.
Logia, but man, I don't want to deal with this."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just getting shot by that would probably be devastating to a fruit user. I forgot that Guild did that. Um, so yeah, outside of that, I guess they just have the special gadgets. Like, what do you think? Do you think the Gorosei are physically strong? Like they have like hockey and devil fruits and stuff?
See, this is such a polarizing topic because people have been getting really heated about the Gorosei debate. But personally, I feel like he might be strong. And I use might very loosely because the reason why I think he's strong is solely in the name. His name, Saint Saturn, just automatically kind of puts him up there with like the ancient weapons, the gods, sun god Nika. Like, name alone, if we didn't know this was a Gorosei member, like maybe let's say this is another character we met from the Navy named Saint Saturn, we're going to expect this man to show out hard. But now that it's a Gorosei member, it's like, okay, he could be strong. He could be on the same scale as like ancient weapons and sun god Nika. But at the end of the day, he's an old man in the world of One Piece. Which I know that shonen animes have that trope of old men being insanely strong, like Hunter x Hunter, Master Roshi. In Naruto, we have Jiraiya. There's a lot of characters in shonen that are old and in their prime, essentially. But in One Piece, that isn't exactly how it always goes down. When characters in the world of One Piece get older, yeah, they're still strong. Yeah, they still have that intimidation factor, but they also get weaker. And every old character in One Piece admits this, the only exception being Lao Ji. Garp, not in his prime. Sengoku, not in his prime. Rayleigh, not in his prime. He admits it. Whitebeard, not in his prime. He admits it. And then we even have movies doing this too with Zephyr, because I just recently watched Film Z, so I got to bring him back up. But even Zephyr's like, hey, I'm older now. You know, I'm no longer a Navy Admiral. Like, characters in One Piece, while yes, they are still strong as they get older, they're just not in their prime. That's just how the series goes. So I feel like age, while that could be like a factor saying, oh, wow, he's an old man, he's going to be OP, I feel like that's just not the case in the One Piece world. And I feel like this also does bring back one of the theories with the Gorosei that's been going on for a long time now, that maybe these guys have some way to turn them younger. Like, maybe they're going to use Bonnie's Devil Fruit, which was a main theory as to why they wanted her in the first place. Maybe they just have some pill that reverts them back to their prime, because we know that aging pills do exist in One Piece, so maybe de-aging pills exist as well. There's a lot of possibilities that would fit the Gorosei and make them narratively stronger. But honestly, to me, just the fact that he's on his way to Egghead and he knows that Yonko Luffy is here and he's not turning away, to me, kind of says that he is going to be strong, or at least a strong fighter. Because if he wanted to order the Seraphims, I feel like he could have done that before they brought them back, right? Like, the Seraphims were going around Amazon Lily. The Kuma Seraphim was with CP0. If the Gorosei wanted to order them, they could have simply had CP0 bring them to them. They didn't have to go out of their way to travel to Egghead like they are right now. So while yes, they could be coming here for the Seraphims, I feel like there is another reason as to why he's here. And maybe that is because he's simply a strong fighter. Maybe they do know that one admiral might not be enough to fight Luffy. So they're like, okay, let's throw an admiral and then a +1, which is the Gorosei. So that's kind of where I'm at. But either way, whether he's a strong fighter or not, I feel like he will be very impactful. And he definitely will change the course of this arc.
Yeah, regardless, whether he's strong or not, that will change. But I guess we can end this on who I think is, if there are any strong ones, it's got to be this guy, Samurai Gandhi, of course, right?
Everybody is on that boat. Like, yo, this guy has like a very OP sword, like one of the 12 supreme grade blades.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so for you guys listening, not confirmed yet, but it pretty much
not
is
confirmed.
Shodai Kitetsu, what the sword we're talking about. So, you know, of the 12 supreme swords that we know, you know, Yoru, which is Mihawk's sword, and then Murakubugiri, which is
Whitebeard's spear.
Yeah, then Ace, which is
Halberd.
Rogers, and then we have the Shodai Kitetsu, which is like the third of the Kitetsu swords. Like Zoro has Nidai Kitetsu, which he got in Logtown. The all of them are cursed, by the way. Remember, like he threw it up in the air.
Yeah,
it didn't cut his arm. So that means that Samurai Gandhi has like the most cursed sword in existence, pretty much, which could be hinting at his inevitable downfall. And it could be at the hands of Zoro, and like Zoro gets Shodai he gets Shodai Kitetsu, and then maybe that's when he fights Mihawk.
That would be really dope, especially with the tie-ins that sword probably has with Wano. And it's funny that the entire community kind of rallies behind the fact that the samurai Gorosei member would be the only real fighter of the group, because he's the only one that seems like kind of intimidating with the sword, right? Like everybody else has like walking sticks, they're like holding onto chairs as they're moving around a room. But this samurai man, he's always posed up. He looks like he's ready for a fight. And now that we have like the planet and god naming scheme going on, a lot of people are kind of pegging him already as Mars, which is the god of war. So I'm pretty excited to see where this goes. And if he does have Shodai Katetsu, it would make a lot of sense because apparently a lot of the Gorosei members are of, different celestial families. And maybe there was some Wano representation in there, and maybe he is the OG Shimotsuki or, someone from Wano. So I feel like that could give that some credence as well.
Yeah, I do think for sure he was the defector of Wano. Like, I think that all of the Gorosei are, like, defectors of, like, the main places that we've been to. They also kind of look like they come from them. I mean, it's not exact, but if you look at them, you can kind of see, like,
Yeah,
Samurai
you can
Gandhi.
tell they're all different ethnicities.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Samurai Gandhi is dressed like somebody from Wano. He has, a friggin' samurai sword. He's clearly from there. There's no other place where people dress like that in the One Piece world. And then we have that one taller guy with the short hair. This is like a reach, but he kind of looks like he comes from Water 7, right?
Yeah, it's like a different version, like reality of Iceberg.
Yeah.
And we know that like places in One Piece are they're all inspired from like real world places and cultures as well. So having the Gorosei all be from different cultures and ethnicities, I feel like fits very well.
Yeah, I agree.
It's almost like a different version of the Straw Hat group because all the Straw Hats confirmed by Oda are supposed to be inspired by different races and they're all different just, as they are. So having the Gorosei kind of echo that and be the opposite would be pretty dope.
Okay. I'm going through what I wanted to talk about in order to do of the week. If you're on, no, never mind. I was going to say some theory about what the name of the Goroseis could be, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we can end it there.